first for me because we're actually going to surprise somebody, aren't we, Cherry?
Yes, we are. We're surprising Leon.
Let's just be clear. He has no idea what's happening, right?
No, none at all.
So what's going to happen is obviously Cherry's going to be backstage. We're going to be talking about general stuff. I'm going to ask him about Cherry, and then once obviously Cherry, once he responds, we're going to bring Cherry on, and we're going to have a chat. Does that sound all right?
That sounds good to me. Let's hope he's nice about me, but he's not going to be. So.
No, we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, stay tuned, guys.
I would describe it as intermittent, which I'm sure you've not really had a lot of before.
No, I have not.
So effectively, I kind of look at my career so far as a bit stop and start, because I've often felt like, and it's certainly entirely on me, right? I don't blame anyone else. But I often feel like I'll kind of start building a bit of steam, and then for whatever reason, I just kind of fizzle out and fade into the background a bit again, which, don't get me wrong, I think I'm currently doing my damnedest to circumvent at this stage in my career. But so far, I would definitely call it quite stop and start, quite intermittent, if you like.
Okay. So obviously we just had 2025. How was your 2025 for you?
2025 was actually it was like a year of shaking off the cobwebs. I would describe it as, because I hadn't long came back to the wrestling scene. It was like late 2024. I had my first match back since coming back. So 2025 was my first proper like year in wrestling again. And don't get me wrong, it might have just been a shaking off the cobwebs year, but there's still plenty that I got to do that I really enjoyed. I wrestled for ICW a couple of times, made it to the garage, which was a goal that I finally kind of ticked off the list. Got a couple of matches at Comic-Con as well, wrestled there, with a full face of Joker makeup, as it happens. Just, new venues kind of up and down the country as well with Blockbuster Wrestling. Wrestled some people that I've never wrestled before, people that I'm, I consider myself friends with. And then obviously I formed what's now known as HorrorCore with my best mate. So all in all, I would say it was a very, very good like reintroductory year for me in wrestling.
So we'll talk obviously about HorrorCore after. Talk a little bit about obviously getting into wrestling. How did it all begin for you?
Okay, so it was round about like how I started training or becoming a fan, just a bit of both really. Yeah, so as a fan, from a fan perspective, it's just kind of always been there, like kind of in and out when I was growing up, until eventually you get to that point, a certain age where you just kind of like go, oh yeah, these are my interests, and I don't really care what anyone thinks, that kind of way. Because growing up, when I was at school, wrestling eventually became like not cool to be into. But then eventually you get to a certain age and you're just like, yeah, no, I like wrestling, and that's just my interests. As far as the training aspect goes, it was around 2014, and it was like me and my mate were just having an all-nighter in his house, right? And obviously we were both into wrestling and just kind of talking about it, going like, well, because we never really thought about it this way somehow at the time, but it was like, you know, there's so much like American wrestling and like everywhere else around the world, so surely there's a scene like on our front doorstep, essentially. So we Googled it, and that's how we came across ICW for the first time, just on their website, which kind of just one thing led to another of, okay, so there's Scottish wrestling. Well, they must have training. They must have training schools somewhere, you know.
Mhm.
So just another Google search there led to Believe it or not, my first training sessions weren't actually with GPWA. There was two that I'd done at Source Wrestling School first in 2014. Um, it was only the two though. And then I just kind of stopped for not really any particular reason. I just wasn't sure if it was really for me at the time. After just giving it a wee go there. But then obviously GPWA was opened up, and that was like basically the ICW feeder school. All the coaches were ICW stars at the time, and from there, I signed up to that, and that's been me ever since about 2016.
Okay. Talk a little bit, obviously, about HorrorCore. How this obviously all came about.
So how it came about, yeah.
Yeah.
So truthfully, it came about effectively. Me and Cherry became best mates like instantly. It felt like, and then as the months went on, it just kind of gradually became a case of people in training, even the coaches, just kind of looking at us, going like there's something here, like there's something that you could do together. Like that just kind of became the prevalent opinion. Um, and at one point we were out, we were both very drunk, we were in a smoking area, and we just went, do I just do it? Do I just do this? Like, let's just. And then we just started bouncing ideas back and forth off each other. Just the rest of the night, essentially. And yeah, since that's kind of the inception of it, then we just found that our characters had a very nice contrast, but also it just somehow made sense, despite how different we are. That's that's how I would sum it up in summary.
Okay. And what's Cherry like, obviously, behind the scenes? Because obviously I've interviewed her. Do you know what I mean? She's always smiling.
Oh yeah, she's always smiling. Yeah. Uh. Sorry, I should say they. That's my bad. Um. They are. They're very sweet. They're very smiley. They're very cheery. They're very happy. They're also an abusive bitch. I have this. I have this habit of saying entirely innocent things that could in no way be construed as um, insults towards their height, their personality, etc., and receiving backhands for it. I don't know where this rage comes from. I think it might be because they're so small. But other than that, they're lovely, and they're my best friend in the world.
If Cherry was here now, how would she respond to that?
Well, they can't have their go-to response, because their go-to response to something like that would be to either flick me on the nose, backhand me in the stomach or arm, uh, or at worst, hit me in the balls. Um, as far as I'm aware, we don't have technology that lets that happen through cyberspace. So possibly, I don't know, give me a couple of middle fingers and a fuck you. Maybe.
Dear. I hate to break it to you, Leon, but Cherry is actually backstage on the stream and she just listened to what you said. Shall we find out?
Oh, really? No. Oh, dear.
Cherry,
Hi,
your
Munchkin.
response.
Fucker.
Your response?
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Do you know how many times, Liam, I've heard that? And I'm still
quite a few.
alive. One day you're going to have to make good on this threat. You really are. Because otherwise,
I don't want to give you the satisfaction. Oh, I'm gonna fucking battle you when I see you.
Dear Cherry, you heard what he said. I mean, your response.
He's a prick. I will. Right. He is a cheeky dickhead. And perpetually points out the fact I am the height of shite.
yeah.
We are aware. We are very aware. So I
I
think
know.
fully justified in giving you a backhand.
Personally, I just think that having to resort to physical violence in response to a verbal
Mhm.
comment is an admittance of defeat.
Oh,
But
that, yeah, no, sure.
yeah, it's a sign of weakness, Jerry.
It's a sign of weakness, says the one that's ended up doubled over after a pin in the balls.
I stand by everything that I've ever said.
Mhm.
You will never break me.
Oh,
I've got to ask, guys. I mean, how the hell do you two coexist if you just wind each other up like this?
Do you want to answer this?
We have been asked that before on like shows by the person that runs front of house, and she's like, "How the fuck have you not killed each other?" I don't know.
Personally, I don't want to give up the social media engagement.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
Your guess is as good as mine on how they haven't killed me yet, but
I just don't want to give you the satisfaction.
okay, cool.
I really don't.
This is brilliant. Now, Cherry, last time you was on the show, you obviously upset a kid, but I found out recently, Leon, you've also upset a kid. Tell me about this.
There's was this it, Cherry? Was this at the last show of 2025? Yeah, okay, so this wasn't my fault. It was the child's fault, and the person they were with, it was their fault too. So what happened was, like this person's like fairly regular at our shows. They had a child with them,
They always
and
failed with them.
I hadn't noticed until now, right? So I've come out, started giving it my usual, mouthing off, etc., etc. I see this person, they start mouthing off to me, and I'm like, brilliant, here we go, back and forth. And then obviously the child's like on their knee. So I decide I'm gonna hit below the belt because that's just the kind of cunt I am. And I just went, your child's ugly. And I didn't wait for a response. I just said that and took my very swift leave to the other side of the ring, thinking absolutely nothing of it. And it turns out the child actually became very legitimately upset about this. And I was confronted, good-naturedly, I will admit, but I was confronted about it after the show by this person. And I stood by my words because my ma didn't raise a bitch.
Nah.
So that's how that went down.
Cherry, your response to that, because obviously you was there.
So, I did not see him call said child ugly. It was a very funny situation after because the child wanted a photo with me while giving him daggers the entire time. I don't know if you've ever seen a death glare off of like a 4 or 5-year-old Lee.
Mhm.
If looks could kill, he would not be here. And it
I
was
would have
beautiful.
considered it a worthy end.
A worthy end to be killed by the look of a toddler.
That I've upset at a wrestling show, yes.
A toddler though.
Look, at least it would be funny, right?
Oh, you mean you're funny.
You can imagine the headlines on that one.
Oh. Finally going mainstream.
Fuck off!
Cherry, have you got a question for Leon? Is there anything you want to ask him while you're here?
There was no need for that, first of all. What do I want to ask you? Oh my god, how am I your best friend?
How are you my best friend?
Yeah, but why do you like spending time with me? Tell everyone how I'm your favorite person in the world.
I don't know, like, you're just the only one dumb enough to hang out with me.
I can't dispute the dumb thing. I cannot. But like, rude. I'm hurt.
It was very much a case of you just annoying me into, like, submission, almost. Like, okay, we're friends now. And then I saw the social media engagement that we get together, and I was like, okay, I'm in.
I'm gonna fucking kill you when I see you.
I did not plan for this, by the way. I'm just gonna this is just like off the rails. There's no script. We're just gonna roll with it because this is brilliant. Leon, are you guys like this all the time?
This is generally, yes, this is generally how our conversations play out, in all honesty. And I can see them sitting there fizzing because they can't hit me. I'm relishing in it, I must say.
I'm banking all this.
I know. But for now, I'm just gonna, like, you know, bask in it.
You've got a lovely fresh tattoo that would really hurt if someone slapped it full force. Just bear that in mind.
It would, wouldn't it? But not right now.
No. Next week.
Yeah, next week.
Oh dear, oh dear. I'm expecting a message from Cherry going, I slapped the shit out of him.
They actually will, though. Like, they will. It's not an empty threat, that.
It's not.
Oh dear. Oh, that's brilliant. I mean, I don't even know where to go with this. You know what I mean? I'm just having so much fun with you guys. Leon, I mean, looking at obviously your character, and I get the vibe of a heel and stuff like that. Is that fair to say, looking at your character?
Yes, absolutely. That's not just yourself that gets that vibe. Essentially, anyone that's ever looked at me, be it like one of my peers or a promoter, or indeed any fans that come to shows, just instantly they just look at me and they think, yeah, heel, bad guy. Which, you know, is by design, because that's you want to be instantly identifiable as one or the other. It just makes your life so much easier, like, once the bell rings, because they're already predisposed to going, I don't like him. As shallow as this is, based on how he looks. So, yeah, I'm definitely much more inclined towards the heel side.
Cherry, I mean, I've already spoke to you. I already know you're a heel. You're already upsetting people.
I am a heel. Like, it's weird. I get booked his face sometimes, and I'm just like, this is face? Why? But yeah, very much dickheads, me and Leon. Or as to quote on Instagram, paid of rat bastards, I believe.
Yeah. That's how I like to. That's how I like to, by definition, describe us as a duo.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so for people who's obviously not familiar with HorrorCore, describe the character for you both, really.
Was that your signal to get me to go
you
first?
go first.
Okay, so essentially, Leon Graves he's Billy Loomis from Scream. He's a self-styled slasher villain. And this attitude is summed up in the quote, "I always come back," right? It's actually quite heroic when you think about it from his perspective, right? Because I tend to lose quite often, right? But no matter what, just like any good franchise villain in any horror franchise, he's always going to come back. Doesn't matter how many times you knock him down, how many times you kill him, he's going to rise again. He's always going to keep coming after you. And he's always going to keep making people miserable because it's so funny to him. Personality-wise, I would describe him as the guy that your sister thinks they can change, but they really can't.
Cherry, your response to that?
I have never heard you describe Leon as that before.
It's a new one. It's very much a new one.
I'm not disputing it.
No, he's a toxically narcissistic, violent son of a bitch wrapped up in a Lost Boys package.
I've heard you describe yourself as that before.
Thank you. So in so many words, that's how I would describe myself.
Cherry, can you top that?
The floor is yours.
The floor is mine. Cherry is the dumb blonde that you think dies in the first act of a horror film and then comes back and is like an evil genius. In comparison to Leon, it's the chihuahua by the side that he hides behind and throws at the really big guys for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, very just 2000s bimbo that will just stab you and will also then fucking kill her bestie. You look like you're far too much.
I don't even know what to say. It's not every time I'm speechless, but this is making me speechless. Oh dear. Let's get obviously Leon on a tangent. Obviously, we're talking about horrors and stuff. Best horror.
Best horror.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so for consistency, for sheer consistency, movie to movie, it's hard to argue Scream, right?
Okay, yeah.
In terms of quality. Just in terms of writing, iconic villain, kills, I think it really holds up and is quite frankly the standard, despite the fact that it's also essentially a parody of slasher tropes.
Okay. Cherry, your response?
I'm not even going to argue that it is Scream. I am.
Except Scream 6.
Oh, do not Scream 6. Oh. Why did you have to bring up Scream 6? Scream 6 is not canon in my brain. The rest of them, chef's kiss. But Scream 6 can burn and die.
Ouch. I mean, I've not
We'll
actually
be
seen
here.
6.
We'll be here all night if we get started on this. And if you've not seen it, we'd rather not
No,
give anything away if we were to start talking about it.
I'll probably not get around to watching it anyway, so if you want to like spoil it, just go for it.
Oh, fair play. But like, it's essentially a case of it's clearly got the biggest budget and like probably the best production value of all of them. But in doing so, they forgot to actually
make a
have
Scream
good
film.
writing.
Now, like, we have spent more hours of our lives than I think we care to admit talking about the correct order of the Scream ranking. We still disagree. Scream 6, however, I think, was it like one night in Cat House we just spent like 2 hours ranting about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
How they have Samara Weaving, the Scream Queen herself, in the fucking opening. And then it's
To
just
be fair, right, they done something similar in the very first movie of having someone you wouldn't expect to die, just die immediately.
No, like, I'm not disputing that. It's a great opening. I think it's one of the strongest Scream openings, Scream 6. However, it then takes this brilliant opening and then jumps off a fucking bridge.
Yeah. The nosedive is significant. And there's people in that movie that survive such heinous injuries somehow. Ghostface is incapable of killing anyone in Scream 6, apparently.
No, because
how
someone gets stabbed like at least 40 times.
There's a character in it, right, by 2 ghost faces. He gets pinned down with his arms outstretched in a crucifix position, and he gets shanked to fuck, like, genuinely about 40 times. But then after the finale, it's revealed that instead of horribly bleeding out after being left for dead, no, he's just hanging in there.
He's fine. He's totally fine, somehow.
Like, no, he's dead. I'm sorry. He's just dead.
He's dead.
And that's why you should never watch Scream 6.
That's just a snippet. That is just a snippet. off the top of my head, I'm forgetting the rest of the criticisms right now, but
It's called trauma
worries.
blocking.
Yes.
So I've got a follow-up question up to that. Do you think when it comes to horror, though, sometimes they can be overproduced in a way? That's for you, Liam.
Sometimes I think there's maybe an over-reliance on shock value, I want to say, as opposed to actually writing a compelling narrative which would then give that shock value, you know, actual value in my mind. I don't really know how to like properly like. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I think there's just an over reliance sometimes on like just gore, essentially, rather than the psychological aspect that could easily be paired with that as well. And because like truly, that's the horror in horror for me. It's not like blood and dismemberment and limbs flying everywhere. It's like getting into your mind and like just playing tricks with it and really just fucking with your psyche in a way and putting you on edge. Like that's where the horror comes from in any like version of the genre in my mind. It's just if you're overlooking that, just fuck off and try again, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. I mean, Cherry, we spoke obviously about Terrifier before we came on the edge, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the prime example.
I think Terrifier does like such a good job of combining, like, see, especially Terrifier 2 and 3, of combining a really good story with characters. Like, the first one is a bit of a gore fest, and then they've somehow managed to thematically add that into the story that is now key, which, genius. But, like, the gore in Terrifier, like, the whole point is now it is how can we keep topping this and making people essentially want to vomit. But he's mad, like, what Damien Leone's done really well is like managed to find a way to do that and still balance like having compelling characters that you care about and you want to see them like come out the other side of it, while also having the silly goofy little guy that is Art the Clown essentially cut people in half and blow up children.
Anything to add on that, Liam?
No, I agree. Terrifier 2 in particular, right? Terrifier 2 could stand to be a few minutes shorter than it is, right? Don't give me that look, right?
I'm giving you that look, I'm judging that.
Right? I didn't say anything about how good the film is. I just said I think it could stand to be a bit shorter.
What would you cut from it?
I just think that there's a bit of padding that could be shaved off, you know what I mean?
When in Terrifier 2?
Look, stop putting me on the spot. Fuck up, I'm talking.
No.
But no, Terrifier 2 is like the standout for like kind of combining the psychological horror with indeed the physical aspects of horror in that franchise, especially because of the whole Clown Cafe stuff. Because I am still not 100% sure what the fuck is going on with the Clown Cafe stuff
Vibes
to
are
this day.
great vibes.
Yeah.
And it's just
Okay.
like it's one of the most inherently off-putting scenes that I've seen in any horror movie because it's just so bizarre. And then, but then you've also got, you know, the bedroom kill in Terrifier 2. And, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's really a really nice mix of both aspects of horror.
Yeah. It's one of those scenes where you're like, oh, okay. Even I was like, oh. Overkill.
So
I mean, it came back with the salt and the bleach, and not gonna lie, I just bust out laughing at that point. Because it sounds horrible, right? But it's at that point where, you know, when it's so overkill and he just looks so happy to be bringing it in with him, I'm just like, this is just
like,
fucking hilarious at this point. Yeah, like he's just having such a great time, and it just kind of loops around from being horrific to being absolutely hilarious at that point.
Yeah.
Because it's just so overkill.
Oh dear, that's brilliant. Let's go obviously back to wrestling a little bit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How do you both prepare for a match? What's the like the go-to zone? How do you get yourself into the zone, as I call it, Leon?
So I'm the type who's like appears absurdly chill, like way too chill. No, for most of the day, right? Of the show day, but then the closer and closer it gets to showtime, that's when the signs start to show. Um, you know, I'm I'm rather renowned at this point for just pacing backwards and forwards, and then like Cherry will try and speak to me, and I'll be like just the most unpleasant cunt that you've ever heard in your life because I'm panicking that much. Like, it's gonna be shite. Fuck off. It's gonna be fucking shite, man. Like, I can't fucking remember it and all that. But then, and then it gets to a point where it's like we call our matches to each other if we're in separate matches as well. And that tends to calm me down a wee bit. But I'm just such a perfectionist about this that like, and I don't really have like a high opinion of myself either. So it's like I'm no matter what I'm doing on the show or like where I am on the card or like how good my opponent is, etc., etc. Like regardless of any factors, I'm gonna be panicking like until my music's playing. At which point it's like basically right. It's like having a gun in my head and being told to calm down and just go out and do it. So
Okay.
that's yeah.
Oh wow, Cherry, anything to add?
I think he is forgetting a key part of his pre-match, which is I'm forcing him down to do his makeup
Oh
and
yes.
sitting and talking him through a panic attack, essentially. That and he has like this nervous tick before he goes out. If he has a spray bottle to wet his hair, because it's never wet enough to go out, and you can tell how nervous he is for a match based on how much he sprays his hair.
I mean, it keeps me cool. Like it cools me down, which mentally cools me down.
You have gone out literally dripping.
Yeah, but have you not seen the wrestlers on TV? Like, that's what they do. Like, see if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me.
Yeah, but yours is a nervous tick.
How do you know it's not for Roman Reigns?
From the pit of my soul, fuck off.
Are you guys like this all the time?
Yes.
Yes. So that's my pre-match ritual, Liam. Um,
Let's turn that question 180. How do you wind down after a match?
well, it kind of depends, just where you are on the show. Like if I'm the opener of a show, which I've done for my last couple of matches, I actually love that because it means I've just got plenty of time to just kind of melt in the background of the dressing room. Like that's the best way I would describe it because once I'm back behind the curtain again, I like mentally just hit a wall and just like crash hard. Not in like a sad way or anything, but like I'll just be like sitting in a chair or whatever and just kind of being like this for like an hour, just you know what I mean? Like with that kind of look about me. And then even just try to talk to me, you'll get like one word answers like, oh yeah, aye. Just pure dead to the world type shit. Um and it's just an adrenaline come down. Like I'm not just being disinterested for the sake of it. Like I'm barely there mentally. So but then like afterwards I'll just suddenly just kind of spring to life and be like, does anyone want to go to Tesco? Or wherever. Because I'm gonna have the munchies at that point. Uh so that's how at best I would describe my winding down after a match.
Cherry, is that true?
Yeah. I have. So, as Leon says, he has opened the past few shows. Like, obviously, on ICW, like we both went out at the same time, so we both crashed together. And then I think it was just before the first half main. We just kind of looked at each other and was like, "Are you also starving now?" But yeah, quite often if I'm on after him, I'll be like going to him to try tell him my match and calm myself down, and it's like talking to a wall.
Oh dear, I can't wait for this next question. Leah, what's the best part, obviously, working alongside Cherry?
What was that face all about, man?
No, because now you have to say something nice about me.
Yeah, Cherry's good. You get to response as well.
Okay.
I'm nice about him all the time.
Listen, look, Cherry, genuinely, thank you. Thank you for so much social media engagement.
Yeah. Your socials would be dead without me.
They would. So, you know, I'm extending a very heartfelt thank you
Uh-huh.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, in all seriousness, my gimmick was incredibly stagnant and, in my mind, bordering on unbookable, if you like, until we started this. And it really just kind of helped we kind of help each other out with this pairing, because like it gave me a fresh coat of paint and like a new kind of lease on life with the character, taking it in a new direction and all that. And I don't know if like you would agree with this. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But obviously, because you've just debuted last year, it's kind of like good for you to be like attached to someone who's been about a bit longer and like can offer a bit of insight, and you can kind of like pick my brain just whenever you need to, because
Yeah.
like that kind of way. I'm not saying that I'm a mad veteran, because fuck, there's people that have been about for way shorter than me that, you know, I would say go to them for their opinion. But you know, just as a duo, like we can kind of bounce ideas off each other and like kind of see what works and see what doesn't work. And yeah, so it's just it's much better to have a duo on the go than it is to be on your own.
Oh, Cherry,
It's the
isn't that
nicest thing
nice?
you've ever said about me. Ever.
Okay, let's
It's been
turn
like
that
2
question.
years.
Cherry, let's turn that question 180. What's the best part of working with Liam?
Oh, so difficult. No, like as he says, the benefit of like he summed it up essentially of like we do get to bounce stuff off of it, but honestly, at its core, it's just I get to do shit with my best mate. Like that's the best thing in the world. Like not a lot of people are lucky enough to do that. And we've been really lucky that this somehow fucking works. And it means that we get to do so much together, much to his delight. But yeah, it's getting to do. Oh, thank you. No, it's just getting to do like at least like some of my wrestling journey with it, because obviously if I'm facing he's healing a show, we're not doing stuff together. But getting to do so much of just this crazy whirlwind that has been my wrestling journey so far with my best mate, as much as he is a pain in the arse.
Oh, Leon, isn't that nice? You've been nice at the.
I know that's actually that's great, man. Cheers.
Mm.
That's really
You worried
nice.
about me?
No, not yet.
I need to better.
Oh dear. So one thing we've not spoke about, Leon, obviously, is the Scottish audience. How would you describe it in your own words?
Uh, concerningly passionate, I would honestly say. We have, and don't get me wrong, this isn't a bad thing, because like I really do appreciate the dedication. But we've got like a merry band of regulars that have been coming to shows, like barely ever missing a show for, it feels like a decade at least. Like every single show you'll see them like on a it got to a point where like back when we used to do tapings for ICW at like the old asylum building, right? Uh, like if you were like if I was on ring crew, I'd be like ushering people in and all that. and I would essentially just look at them and go, yeah, up that side, like always. Like that was just their dedicated side of the railing at that point. So like, but it does get to, but it's got to a point for me where I'm just like, I can't say this. It sounds bad, but it's like, what else do you do? Like, I don't mean that, like, I know that doesn't, I don't mean that in like a slagging them kind of way, but it's just kind of that way where I'm just like, wow, yous are like really into this. This is like a subculture at this point, like for the fans of the local scene for us. So on the one hand, it's impressive, and on the other hand, I'm just kind of like, wow, like I've never been that dedicated to something.
Dear. Cherry, your response?
No,
That's
like
how.
that
That's
comes up. Like it is very that. Like there is just this core group of people that, as much as like we do this and we spend an ungodly amount of time with everything with it, they outdo us, and I don't understand it, but I love them.
Yeah, thank you. That's the point I was trying to make. I just
Yeah,
sounded like I just sounded like a dick
that's because you
instead.
are a
Oh dear. Brilliant stuff like that. So I feel that my questions obviously begin to wind down and stuff like that. I mean, obviously we're at start of 2026. What's the goal obviously for you both?
Leon.
Who's Oh, I was about to say whose floor is it? Okay. So goal for 2026. I've got a couple, I suppose.
He's got a list.
I do actually. Thank you for reminding me. Um, yeah. So obviously we want to start getting merch out there. We want to finally tag together. Um, I'm just looking to kind of branch out a bit more into the wider scene because I spent 2025 very much just with the home team, if you like, with Blockbuster slash ICW, GPWA, um, that kind of way. And my other two, they're a bit more, uh, not abstract, but a bit more like, what if? I would like to win a belt of some fashion, as I'm sure any wrestler would, right? My last one is I want to try and kind of dip my toe into the deathmatch scene as well.
Okay, that'd be interesting.
I'm just very much I'm very much an enthusiast of deathmatch wrestling, um, in general, to be honest. So like I grew up on a steady diet of watching the Hardy Boys jump off stuff, and then like as I discovered more and more indie wrestling, it just kind of became more and more extreme from there. I would, however, say that it's very much an underground niche within a niche, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that's getting shown on national television, and I look at that and I think that's not what a wider audience like. As much as I love it, I'm like, just no, this isn't the image that we should be projecting for a wider audience. There's a market for deathmatch wrestling, but it's not the wider mass appealing audience, if you like.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, Cherry, we didn't speak about deathmatch wrestling. What's your thoughts on it?
I do like it, and like I have a thing in my brain where I want to do everything once, so I do want to do one. Um, the concept of Leon doing them gives me a heart attack because he's an idiot. But like I do enjoy it, and I do think it has a place in wrestling. I just think there has to be a weight to it. A lot of the time, it can't be some, like as Leon says, it's not something that should be constant as well. Like it's not what the mass is in it, and it's not what we should be presenting as like the standard. Because there's then what the fuck's the extreme version of that?
Yeah, it's very much it's essentially the underground punk grunge heavy metal scene of wrestling, and it should stay that way. Like
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned.
The one thing I hate about deathmatch wrestling for me personally is when something happens in a certain promotion, the whole scene comes under scrutiny, but it's not. It's just like one promotion, which is like done so much stupid. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've also seen places that will like do it in front of like in front of a family audience as well. Maybe not to the extreme of like the most extreme death matches you've ever seen, but you'll see people like, you know, bleeding in front of children and all that. And it's like, no, like this is exclusively like an 18 plus affair. Like if you're gonna do it, make sure that it's known that it's an 18 plus event. Like you can't have children at these events. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. In a couple of weeks' time, I am actually going to my first deathmatch show, so I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah.
Durham's doing Rise Underground. I think it's start of February, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with an open mind. I don't want to go in and say, "Oh, this is awesome. What's going to happen here?" Do you know what I mean? Just go in, open mind, and then just see what happens. Really, that's what I'm going to do anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Just that's the way I would like go to any show. Just don't necessarily leave your expectations at the door, but like
Leave your
just
expectations at the door.
as you say, yeah. But also, yeah, just see what happens
Probably the best way,
and allow
right?
yourself to be surprised.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one final question, obviously we'll wind down. I'm going to end on this. This is for you both. For people who's not familiar with the HorrorCore, why should they go check you out?
Do you want to see a really angry 6'2" goth get annoyed by his tiny bestie? Or my personal favourite, do you like hot goths? Yeah.
Yeah.
Leon, anything to add?
No, I honestly think that sums us up beautifully, to be honest with you. Like we just kind of slowly began adding the whole hot goth thing to it, because initially it was more of a straight like slasher villain and this annoying bestie type, and then just like eventually we kind of got to a point where we're like, what if we were also really narcissistic?
I
Like,
mean,
what if we
I'm
were
goth.
really, yeah, right, but like, what if Cherry started to like rub off on Leon? So what if we
Yeah.
both became very narcissistic and very vain, but also still unhinged in a sense?
Essentially, I let Leon get into my glitter. That's what happened.
Yes. And beneath all
dear.
that, we kept the same core dynamic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I tell you what, guys. I mean, would you guys be interested in coming back for a part 2 later in the year? Because I'd love to pick your brain with other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, because you know I've had so much fun. Do you know what I mean? We haven't even scratched the surface. You know what I mean? We just had some fun. Do you know what I mean? Probably the best bit.
Yeah, I do feel that me and Cherry have spent a good portion of this recording arguing rather than engaging in conversation about wrestling, to be fair. But
Us argue never.
Dear, but
but
yeah, we'll
personally, I
definitely get
think
you.
it's very on brand.
Absolutely. So we'll get you guys back obviously later in the year for a part 2. I might even just like hit record and just let you two just like take the floor for an hour. How's that?
I would
Yeah,
not recommend that.
I don't know. I mean, we could definitely go for an hour. Like, there's absolutely no question about that. But
Oh no, easily.
I don't know. I
Uh,
don't know what we'd end up talking about.
oh dear, Leon. As I begin to wind down, mate. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
um, what was that side eye?
I just like to give you side eye.
Okay, cool.
Or yes,
So, I mean, we have recently been advertised to appear on Wrestle with Pride down in Newcastle. We're not entirely sure on what dates we're going to be working yet, but you know, look out for us down there. That's going to be our first time wrestling south of the border, so we're really looking forward to that.
There you go. And obviously, you see the little QR code above your screen. That obviously scans. If you scan that, that goes to obviously your Instagram, so people can go support you and stuff like that. All of the links obviously be in the description. Leon, it's been an absolute blast, mate. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, I definitely have. Aye.
Absolutely. Cherry, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for giving me more of a reason to hit Leon.
Absolutely. So, one final thing I need from you both. Who wants to do an outro?
Leon.
Oh, in what capacity? Just this has been the Magic of Wrestling podcast.
Whatever you want, mate. This is your show.
Okay. I forgot about this part. I was rewatching Cherries just to get an idea of what I might be asked. And okay. Well, to all of you watching this, they've been Cherry Knox, the Queen of Short Style. I have been Leon Graves, your franchise villain, the King of the Damned, Snake Eyes to some,
How many other names do you have?
several, but those are my three off the top of my head so far. And this has been the Magic of Wrestling podcast. Liam, thank you very much for having us.
Always a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
And good night.